Hi, today we'll discuss the description of the village called Kanthapura. This is how the novel begins with the description of Kanthapura. We all know that Kanthapura is a very famous novel written by Raja Rao. I have done an introduction video on this. You please go and watch it. The link is given in the description box. Let's get started. Now, the description of the village. So, here there are three sections like how it is described. Now, Kanthapura is a village in Karnataka. Exactly where is the location? First, the location is described, and then they speak about goddess Kenchamma. Kenchamma is the local goddess or Grama Devate of Kanthapura. About her, it is told, and then people and the houses of Kanthapura is also described. Okay, now the narrator of the novel. Narrator means the person who is telling the story. Is Achakka. Now this Achakka is an elderly woman of Kanthapura. She is a widow. She is uneducated and she tells the story of Kanthapura. Now, the village Kanthapura is situated on the Western Ghats. In the map you are seeing, here it is Western Ghats. So, Western Ghats, Karnataka, it is situated, and the province or Prantya is southern part of India. It is Khara. The province name is Khara. It is situated in the southern part of India. So, Western Ghats in the province of Khara in the southern part of India, and the village is in such a way that it faces the Arabian Sea. Okay, so this is the exact location of Kanthapura. It's on Western Ghats in the province of Khara. It faces the Arabian Sea. Okay, now the village is also having a river called Himavati. And here in the village, coffee and cardamom is grown in abundant. And it's of such a good quality that it is also exported to Britain. And apart from coffee and cardamom, rice and sugarcane is also grown in abundant. Rice means akki, sugarcane is kabbu. Okay, now Kenchamma is the mother of Himavati, Achaka says. Okay, I hope all this is clear. Now, apart from this, there are forests of teak, sal, sandal and jack. Jack is halsin hannu. Sandal is gandhad mara. Teak and sal. It's a kind of a wood which is used to make furniture and things like that. Tega, we call it in Kannada. And the roads are narrow and dusty. Very small roads and dusty roads the village is having. So this is where Kanthapura is exactly situated. So it is situated in the lap of nature. So there is abundant forest. Abundantly forest is grown. And coffee is grown, cardamom is grown. Apart from that, rice and sugarcane also is grown. So these are the forest pictures. Very beautiful forest it is having. Okay, now the presiding deity is Kenchamma. Devryaru Kenchamma. Village's whole life is centered around Kenchamma. ಈ ಗ್ರಾಮ ದೇವತೆ ಕೆಂಚಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇವಳ ಹತ್ರ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. She is very important. Now, for example, if there is a marriage, they have to take the blessings of Kenchamma. If there is a funeral, again they have to go to Kenchamma. If there is kind of any sickness, smallpox or chicken pox or something like that, they have to go and meet Kenchamma. And if the harvest is going on, again they should go and offer the first crop to Kenchamma. So she is the presiding deity. Presiding deity andre Grama Devate. Now how this exactly Kenchamma came to Kanthapura? So there is a story, there is a Sthala Purana. Okay, now Kanthapura was troubled by a demon. ಒಂದು ದೆವ್ವ ಇತ್ತಂತೆ, ಅದು ಕಾಂತಾಪುರನನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. It troubled Kanthapura like anything. Now this demon, it wanted men as food and woman as wife every day. So it wanted women as food, women as wife and man as food. So what the people did, they prayed to goddess Kenchama, and she came down from heaven to earth, and she waged a war against that demon. Demon andre Rakshasa, with that Rakshasa, and she killed him. Okay, and after killing, his blood flowed like anything, and it soaked and soaked and soaked the earth of Kanthapura. That's why the mud is red, Achaka says. Okay, so she is a presiding deity. She saved the villages from a demon. Demon means Rakshasa. This Rakshasa wanted young men as food and women as wife. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಶಿ ವೇಜ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್, ಒಂದು ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವನನ್ನು ಸಾಯಿಸಿಬಿಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ದೆವ್ವನನ್ನು. ದ ಹಿಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರೆಡ್, ದ ಮಡ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂತಾಪುರ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೀಮನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್. So not only she saved the villages from the demon, she also settled in Kanthapura, and she is such a beautiful goddess. She takes care of Kanthapura and its people all the time in need. Okay, now what she does, she grants the wishes. ಅವಳು ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಸೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪೂರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ if they have some grief, some sadness, or she cures diseases, ಏನಾದರೂ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅವಳು ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ರೈನ್ಫಾಲ್, ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಪ್ರೇ ಟು ಕೆಂಚಮ್ಮ, ದೆನ್ ಶೋರ್ಲಿ ದಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೈನ್ಫಾಲ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ದ people of Kanthapura are very religious. Okay, now she cured everybody, but she couldn't cure Sattamma's child. Okay, and then Dheerappa's brother's son died of smallpox. Except these two people, she cured everybody. Okay, then young Sankama also couldn't be cured. Why she was not cured? Because she was not loyal to her husband Chanuva. ಸೊ ಹಜಾಮನ್ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಅವಳು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅವಳು ನ್ಯಾಯವಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅವಳು ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ನ್ಯಾಯವಾಗಿರದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಗಾಡೆಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪನಿಷ್ ಯು ಬೈ ಕಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಶಿ ವೋಂಟ್ ಲಿವ್ ಯೋರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ರಾಮಪ್ಪ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸುಬ್ಬಣ್ಣ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಗಾಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸಿಟಿ. ಸಿ Achaka how she explains. Ramappa, Subbanna got the disease in city, that's why they were killed, because Kenchama is a goddess of Kanthapura, not of city. So city gods should take care of them, not Kenchama. Okay, now here Achaka talks about the houses of the villagers. Now one thing we should understand, that in Kanthapura villages are based, village houses are divided and they are based on their caste. On the caste basis, the houses are divided. So there are 4 quarters, 4 divisions. There are 4 divisions in the society on the basis of caste. So first she describes about Brahmin quarters, Brahmandar Keri. So Brahmin quarters is having 24 houses, and 2 big houses they have. 2 big and beautiful houses. One is of postmaster Surya Narayan, another one is Patwari Nanjundaya. So she describes their house. Then she talks about corner house Murti, Mule Mane Murti, and Dore, university graduate. They call him as university graduate sarcastically. Okay, now Dore's parents died. Murti and Dore are of same age, and Dore they call university graduate sarcastically, because he couldn't even complete his college and he posed that he is very much educated and he had lot of ego. That's why they called him as university graduate. Now Murti, you can tell him that he is the protagonist of the novel. He is the main character who brings freedom struggle to Kanthapura. Now this Murti's parents died, his father died, and in the middle of the novel even his mother also dies. So he had 2 sisters and both were married. This Murti had 15 acres wet land and 20 acres dry land. So he is introduced here. So Postmaster Surya Narayan and Patwari Nanjundaya's houses are big and beautiful. And corner house Murthy, Mule Mane Murthy. So he is the protagonist of the novel. His parents die. He had two sisters. He married his two sisters. And he's quite rich. He's having 15 acres wetland and 20 acres dry land. Another character is introduced, Waterfall Venkamma. Her name is Venkamma. Waterfall is always she mounts for something. She cries for something. That's why she's nicknamed as Waterfall Venkamma. Now postmaster's house is good because it's two-storied house. It had 2 floors. 2 mahadi ಮನೆಗಳು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಮನೆ ತುಂಬ ವಿಶೇಷ. Then Patwari Nanjundaya's house is unique because it had glass panes to the windows. Everyone else had wood doors, but he had glass doors. Then even Zamindar Bhatta, sorry, there's a typing error here. He's Bhatta. Zamindar Bhatta, who has gone on adding peasants' land to his domain. He is also introduced. So the first quarter is Brahmin quarter. So the Brahmin quarter is having 24 houses. Okay, and here she talks about Venkamma. Now Venkamma and Rangamma, they are relatives. Venkamma's sister-in-law is Rangamma, Attige. So this Venkamma is having a grudge against Rangamma. Now why she is having a grudge? Now Rangamma is a widow and she lives in the big house. Big house means Venkamma's mother's house because she is her brother's wife. So as now she is a widow, she lives in a very big house. Okay, that's one problem. And the second problem is Rangamma's parents also live with her. So that is the second problem. That is jealousy. And what she complains is Venkamma that during vacations Rangamma's relatives come to their house and they enjoy the property. So she is having a grudge against Rangamma and always she complains about one thing or the other. Okay, Rangamma's father and mother lived with her, and on vacations she would invite all her younger brothers and relatives to her house to enjoy the vacation, and that pained Venkamma. So always she would complain. That's why they called her as Waterfall Venkamma. Now here she talks about Akama. Akama had a visitor and he was a coffee planter, Ramaya. And what she prepared for him? She prepared vermicelli paisa. Paisa. It's a sweet, it's a dessert prepared in South India. Kheer, what you say in Hindi. So that was prepared. So now why this is told? To talk about the food habits of Kanthapura. That's why this is told here. Okay, now apart from Brahmin quarters, there is a Pariah quarter. Pariah quarter means other than Brahmins. So here she talks about Beedal Timmayya, his name is. He is the most important man there in Pariah quarters. Then another man is poke-marked Siddha. This poke-marked Siddha, once upon a time he was a very rich man and now he lost his money because his wife was very much ill, and for her treatment he loses lot of money. Now among all this, potter's quarters is very small, very small. And their important houses are Lingayya, Ramaya, Chandraya and Subbaya. Okay, another important person to be mentioned here is Patel Rangegowda. This Patel Rangegowda was called as Tiger of Kanthapura. And this Tiger of Kanthapura, he looked like a tiger because he was very tall, very fat, very ferocious, very courageous, like a tiger. Now this Rangegowda, he had 3 daughters. And all the three daughters, even after marrying, they lived with Rangegowda. And his son-in-laws obeyed to Rangegowda. Whatever Rangegowda gave order, they obeyed to him. And somewhere around in Pariah Quarters, there were 90 to 100 huts. So this is the description of the village, Kanthapura. I hope this video was beneficial. If you have any doubts, you please leave in the description box. I'm going to answer it. Thank you very much.